Hello, my dear student. Welcome back to the chapter 3 of the book Our Teachers Are Superheroes. Chào mừng các con đến với cuốn sách thầy cô của chúng ta là siêu nhân, và chúng ta đang ở chương số 3. Chúng ta tiếp tục các con nha. I'm telling you, chapter 3, investigating. I'm telling you that there's only one way we can prove they're hiding a secret superhero identities. We need to spy on them. You're not really invisible like you wanted to be. Do you know, Benji? You get found out, and then what? You probably get us both in trouble. Though Freya agreed that the Dinkers incident was peculiar, she wasn't as keen to rush into an espionage mission as Benji was. However, it always seemed that no matter how much she put up a fight, she eventually persuaded to go along with her friends' harebrained schemes. This time, she had to admit part of her was beginning to wonder whether he was ready onto something. Luckily, the two children lived just a few doors away from each other, not far from school. After the bell rang for home time, the pair raced back to the respective houses and exchanged out of their uniform in Record time. No more than 50 minutes after they've walked out of the gates, they were paddling furiously back towards school. After tiptoeing around the outside of the building and avoiding the watchful eye of the caretaker, Mr. Fig Builders, Benji leaned his bike against a bush and silently summoned Freya over to where he was crouching low on the ground below Mr. J's classroom window. Hidden between the building and the bushes outside, the two rose slowly from the sword position, just enough to peer over the window, ledge, and into the classroom. Inside, Mr. J was sitting at his desk, partly obscured by the huge pile of science books that he was marking. Again, Benji mentioned with his hand for Freya to follow him before moving in a very strange fashion along the ground next to the wall. He wasn't quite crawling, as his knees were touching the floor. It was more of a waddle, with his leg bent at the knee and his backside hovering a few centimeters from the floor. Freya couldn't help it. She thought he looked like a human frog. A laugh more like a snort burst out of her quicker than she could raise her hand to cover her mouth. Shh! Benji spun around with a frown, shoulders heaving up and down, beating down hard on her furs. Freya composed herself and followed her friend in a comical stills formation, pressed close to the wall, but never rising high enough to spot it, through the low windows. After what seemed like an hour, they reached the next classroom along, Miss Hitchens' room. Once again, they raised their heads inch by inch and peered through the window, looking left and right. All was quiet and motionless. A ring of light around the edge of the door told them that a light in the classroom store cupboard had been left on, but there was no sign of anyone. Freya imagined that the stacked chair, empty packs, and pile Books of the classroom were breathing a silent shine of relief as the dust settled after the long day. Freya was just about to run and tell Benjamin that she was going home when the light in the store cupboard flicked off and the two watchers flinched like startled rabbits. As the door began to open, the children's eyes widened and they ducked slightly, torn between the desire to see and the fears of being seen. The figure that emerged from the cupboard was vision in teal, yellow, and navy blue. Miss Hitchins' plain red and visible shoes of the day were no longer visible. A long blue cape below billowed around her whole body, and her tall sunflower yellow boot rubbed the floor smartly. Freya and Benji looked at each other. Their eyes are like saucer. They had seen Miss Hitchins' superhero's costume before, but why wouldn't she be wearing it now? As they returned back to the window, the teacher tapped something into her phone, glanced at her watch, and then, in the blink of an eye, hobbled off out of sight with the three quick long paces. Whoosh! She's gone. This was gone. Thank you. And that's the end of chapter 3. See you in next one.